Hi, you're watching Anyverse English. The story begins at a critical moment, with our protagonist, Sal Cooper, kneeling in a tense situation. Known as the most trusted shadow of the Cooper family, he finds himself surrounded by multiple knights. The head of the Cougar family steps forward, accusing Sal of betrayal and collaboration with the enemy for personal gain. He decrees Sal's immediate execution in the name of the new family head. Upon hearing this, Sal grits his teeth and addresses his accusers, all of you. In a sudden surge of defiance, he charges forward with his sword, condemning them as pretentious, lying beasts who deserve damnation. However, his defiance is cut short as he is unexpectedly stabbed from behind. In that moment, the life Sal had dedicated to his family becomes a sacrifice the family is willing to make. As he faces his imminent demise, Sal reflects, is this how it ends? With his final breath, he vows, in the next life, I, Sal Cooper, will not rest until I've torn each of you to shreds. As Sal's eyes fluttered open, he found himself on his knees, surveying his surroundings with a perplexed frown. Where am I? Hell? But why does it feel so strangely familiar? His contemplation was abruptly interrupted as a stout woman barged in, her voice booming, Clean yourself up quickly. Someone will be taking you somewhere later. Sal's expression twisted in disbelief as he gave a denial look. However, before he could utter a word, he received a sharp slap from the woman. What's with that defiant gaze? You little brat, barely out of your diapers, dare to defy me. With her rebuke delivered, she departed abruptly, leaving Sal to ponder her words. Staring at his reflection in the water, Sal couldn't shake off the label of brat. His mouth twisted into a sinister grin as realization dawned. I've actually returned to when I was 3, he muttered darkly. I, Sal Cooper, have been reborn. Memories flooded back of his past life as a member of the Cooper family shadow. In my previous life, I was the Cooper family shadow, he recalled bitterly. Alongside the other shadows, I endured the family's cruelest training from a young age. His mind replayed scenes of murder, arson, and espionage, the clandestine tasks assigned to them as their codename implied. We were the ones who did all the hidden dirty work for the family, he continued, his voice tinged with bitterness. And in return, the family showered us with endless riches and glory. Despite the hardships, they willingly endured, driven by loyalty and the promise of reward. As the illegitimate son of the family, I was determined to change my fate, he confessed. I was talentless, so I trained relentlessly to compensate. Neglected and scorned, I took it upon myself to fight for the family's honor. To fulfill my orders, I committed unspeakable acts, he admitted, his tone heavy with regret. Beheading enemies, laying waste to cities, all in the name of victory for the family. But his loyalty and sacrifices were met with betrayal. I thought my family would reward me with honor and recognition, but instead, I was framed. Sal Cooper, as the family's shadow, you stand accused of betrayal and collusion with the enemy for your own selfish gain, the head of the Cooper family declared solemnly. In the name of the new family head, I order your immediate execution. And thus, I learned the harsh truth behind the existence of shadows, Sal reflected bitterly. To be honest, from the day you became a shadow, I cast the shadow oath upon you, the head continued sneering. The strength you gained through your growth would be continuously siphoned to me, while every injury I suffered would be transferred to you. As for the glory and money, mere baits for pathetic bugs like you. Ha ha ha. With a surge of rage, Sal swung his final strike, only to be met with retaliation, a fatal gunshot. In that moment, I understood the blood magic of the reversal, shadow oath, Sal recounted, and reclaimed the power taken from me by Alan. But my life had also reached its end. So in this life, Sal vowed, I swear never to make the same mistake again. Feeling famished, it seems like I haven't eaten in 3 days. I'll eat this rat to satiate my hunger first, Sal declared. In the battlefield of my past life, rats were more delicious than human meat. Just then, 2 men barged in, addressing him contemptuously. Hey, you trash. Young Master Allen wants to see you. Come with us. As they escorted Sal away, he pondered his past. This time in my previous life, I was chosen to become a shadow, but all my memories regarding the initiation had disappeared. That must have been when I was cursed with the blood magic of the shadow oath. However, with determination, Sal bit one of the men's hands, eliciting a yelp of pain. Is this kid a dog? The man exclaimed, while his companion urged him to capture Sal quickly, insulting him in the process. As they closed in, Sal dodged their attacks with ease, then seized a sword and retaliated. The men were taken aback. This kid actually knows swordsmanship, one of them exclaimed. Sal grinned sinisterly as he held the sword. However, the perfect opportunity for my revenge has come. The Shadow Oath is an ancient form of blood magic wherein the caster, known as the Master of the Oath, can bind a target to become their shadow. By paying the price of a small amount of blood, the caster gains control over the shadow, who is rendered unable to harm the Oath Master and must endure any injuries suffered by the Master in their place. Additionally, all the growth and abilities of the shadow are transferred to the Oath Master. Due to the cruel and dangerous nature of this magic, the Empire issued an order 100 years ago to destroy all grimoires containing records of shadow oaths, thereby preventing anyone from using it. The man who was sent to fetch Sal Cooper was swiftly rebuked and labeled as cold trash for being bested by Sal. To be bullied by a wild dog. Did the Cooper family raise you for nothing? Scolded the young Alan Cooper, the 8-year-old successor of the Cooper family. The man apologized profusely. I'm so sorry, young master. It's because my subordinate failed his duty. Alan Cooper advanced with a stern expression. To think you're daring enough to touch my own people. He ordered, someone, lock him up in the dungeon. However, at that moment, a woman intervened. Wait, Alan, she exclaimed. That kid had no one looking after him since he was young. It's normal for him to act a little crazily. The woman was Hera Cooper, matriarch of the Cooper family and Alan's mother. But this isn't the time to punish him, she continued. The important thing is the oath-taking ceremony. Don't forget what your mother told you about what we have to accomplish today. Alan Cooper gazed at Sal, pondering silently. I have no idea why my mother chose this lowly bastard child to become my shadow. When I find the chance, I will definitely ruin him. With a determined nod, he responded, Yes, mother. Hera Cooper then intervened. All right, then mother will take these people out and won't disturb you, our future family head. She commanded the others, clear the place out except for young Master Alan. The rest of you cast the soundproofing spell, and don't let anyone disturb the young master. The subordinates acknowledged her orders with a firm, Yes, madam. Alan cleared his throat and held up a glass, addressing the gathered children. From this time forth, every one of you will become a member of the Shadow Army. Let us make an oath to the family. The other children, including Sal Cooper, nodded in agreement. In the name of Shadow, I swear to dedicate my entire life to the family. Our life, our everything was all granted to us by the family. The family's command. For the family, they exclaimed in unison. With determination, Sal Cooper also drank from the oath glass, sealing his commitment to the Cooper family. In the next moment, everyone except Alan Cooper fell unconscious. His lips curled into a smirk. What a bunch of fools. Couldn't even differentiate drugged water from holy water. With precision, he made a small cut on his finger with a knife and let a drop of blood fall to the ground. As it touched the earth, the spell of the oath was activated. All of you will provide your strength to me, while all the harm I sustain will be suffered by you, Alan declared. Slowly, the strength and abilities of the others began to flow into him. Alan marveled at the sensation. I can feel power entering my body. Did the Shadow Oath work? His confidence swelled. I didn't expect this to be so simple. I'm such a genius. I have to quickly share this good news with Mother. Lady Mother, he called out, but to his surprise, his knees gave way, and he collapsed to the ground. Puzzled, he wondered, why can't I move my legs? Could this be the after effects of the Shadow Oath? But Mother didn't say anything about this. Then he shouted, Mother! Lady Mother! At that moment, Sal Cooper emerged from behind. You really are a coward, always hiding behind your mother's back, he taunted. But what a shame, your mother cast a soundproof spell to ensure you wouldn't be disturbed before finishing the Shadow Oath. No matter how loud you cry, they won't hear you. Alan Cooper's expression darkened as he observed Sal Cooper brandishing a sword. How are you awake, and how do you know about the Shadow Oath? He demanded. Sal Cooper smirked. Oh, are you scared already? But that's not the only thing I know. His tone turned ominous. If I were to reverse the Shadow Oath, I wonder how you would react, Your Excellency. With a forceful slam of the sword onto the ground, a surge of power erupted. Alan Cooper grimaced in pain. My heart, it hurts so much. What are you going to do? Stop. What am I going to do? Sal Cooper retorted. In my previous life, I paid the price of my life to steal back everything that belonged to me. And in this life, I'm simply returning the favor. Outside, a scream echoed. Adu! The subordinates rushed in, saying, "Madam, the spell shattered." Sal Cooper's expression turned grave. "Alan." Later that night, a subordinate reported, "Madam, the young master's body is fine. He fainted temporarily due to excessive use of magical power." As for the soundproof spell breaking, one of the servants was distracted during casting. "I've already sent that person to be executed." Sal Cooper nodded, coldly replying, "Understood. Feed the corpse to the dogs." The subordinate complied, but then expressed concern, "Madam, the young master seems unsettled. Given his age, it's understandable. Such actions carry a heavy burden on the heart." Meanwhile, Alan Cooper pondered, "Why do I feel like something happened, but I can't remember what?" Sal Cooper reached out to him, offering reassurance. "Alan, you need not be troubled by the shadows. The strong prey upon the weak in this world, and you are strong." Suddenly, Alan retorted, "How is that possible? I am the future head of the Cooper family. Those wretched creatures should exist to sacrifice their lives for me. Right, mother?" Upon hearing his son's confident declaration, Sal Cooper hugged Alan tightly. "Haha. As expected of my son, that's right. What rewards do you want? Feel free to tell your mother." Alan's face lit up with joy. "Yay, mother is the best." Unbeknownst to them, Sal Cooper overheard their conversation. He couldn't help but reflect, what a deep bond between mother and son. But what a shame. With determination, he resolved, "From this day forth, Alan Cooper has become my shadow." In my past life, when I battled for the family, I stumbled upon a blood magic index containing records of the shadow oath, Sal reminisced. I eagerly presented it to the family, but I didn't anticipate becoming the family's sacrifice myself. Fortunately, I had studied the contents of the book and combined it with my experience of reclaiming my power in my previous life. Right now, all I need is a little blood as the cost to reverse the shadow oath and swap positions with Alan, Sal Cooper contemplated. But this 3-year-old me is just too weak and isn't capable of resisting them. I must get stronger starting from now. And so, the first step to becoming stronger is... Sal mused, considering the flaming cliff. This is the Cooper family's testing grounds, designed to select strong shadows willing to sacrifice themselves for the family. It's similar to how Prometheus stole fire for humankind and willingly endured the eagle's pecks day and night, Sal remarked. The Cooper family also threw this group of children, aged 10 years and below, into the flaming cliff, Sal elaborated. They ordered them to trek through the thorns and commanded the eagles to gnaw on their flesh. Even with their final breaths, they are not allowed to give up. Until the first shadow scales the peak and obtains the blessings of the eagle, griffin, Sal continued. Then, they receive a body that will never be injured, no matter how much it is attacked or pecked. The person in charge reiterated, "You only have 3 days. Regardless of what methods you use, there is only one objective for this test." He was the Shadow's training officer, Enos Walker. He continued, "And that is to reach the peak, alive. Of course, don't forget that deserters will be sentenced to death after 3 days. All right, Shadows, for your bright futures, set off dash." With a whistle, every other kid instantly ran. Enos Walker's attention shifted towards Sal Cooper, who was working freely. "This kid is really composed," he remarked. The lady officer arrived and said, "That is Sal Cooper, the illegitimate son who angered the young master yesterday." Enos Walker sneered, "Oh, so it's that kid." As they climbed, both of them laughed. The native officer said, "Ha ha ha ha, he didn't take the slope and is scaling the cliff wall with his bare hands instead. He's probably going to fall without even reaching the halfway mark." Enos Walker added, "So stupid." The leading officer suggested, "Why don't we go over to collect his corpse now?" Enos Walker denied, "No need. I suddenly thought of an interesting idea. Now is the perfect time for that guy to show up." On the other hand, as a figure emerged, the other kids wondered, "What is that thing? Wait, is that an eagle?" Then, all of them frowned. "That is clearly a monster." A few minutes later, as Sal Cooper peeked through the ridge, he saw that every kid was killed by that eagle. Enos Walker said, "He angered young Master Alan yesterday. Why don't we take this chance to remove him by borrowing the griffin and make the young master happy?" With that, we released the arrow. The arrow passed closely through the griffin's neck. Suddenly, his attention shifted towards Sal Cooper, and he inquired, "Who?" The griffin spotted him and charged forward, shouting, "Foolish human, die." Sal Cooper pondered, "Foolish? Die? That is exactly what I want. After experiencing my previous life, I know that the only way to quickly scale to the peak and obtain the Griffin's blessing is to tame it. Griffin. Classification: S-rank monster, male, danger level, 4 stars. Place of birth: Flaming Cliff. According to legends, it developed intelligence after consuming a massive number of human brains and is capable of communicating with humans. It struck an agreement with the Cooper family to assist them in selecting shadows in exchange for bait. Those who receive the blessing of the Griffin will be rewarded with an indestructible body. It loves gold and jewels and has 1 offspring.